I think it was John McDonnell who said today that in Jeremy Corbyn he'd met one of the nicest men ever. A truly decent person, a gentle, compassionate and caring person. Somebody who meant what he said, and somebody who was, genuinely a humanitarian, if you like. Somebody who actually was concerned about other people. Now, sure, the whole world can't be made up of people like that. I guess that's just not the way we are as human beings. But I would at least like to think that the majority of us in this country somehow do care about other people. Somehow have it as, I don't know, just part of the way we are. That not just what happens to me is the only thing that happens. Not just how successful I am, how much money I can make, how well I can live. Everything that I can acquire for myself is the only thing that matters. I would like to think that as a nation, as a people, as a group of human beings, as a member of the United Kingdom for that matter, that we are a little bit like that in our kind of good side, the best side of us, the side that wants to be social and wants to care for others and is not just acquisitive, selfish, greedy and thoughtless. Not to say that obviously they are not aspects of every human nature. I'm not yet saintly and I don't think I ever will be. But let me just elaborate a little bit on what John was saying about Jeremy Corbyn. Now, what he was saying was that in the Houses of Parliament, in the Commons, you remember the Tory MP, and I'm not even going to give their name because actually they're of no importance at all. Yeah, I wouldn't even deign to mention their name in this video about somebody who's decent and good and compassionate and caring and who actually wants to build a society that works for everyone, not just the rich few. For that matter, probably not just the heckler that comes out with this ageist comment about Jeremy Corbyn, suggesting he should be kept in an old folks' home or a care home. Ageist, sexist, racist, fascist. Yeah, I know there are loads and loads of ists. And I know that members of the Tory party would far rather we got rid of all those ists, wouldn't they? They'd far rather we got rid of all that silly political correctness. Now, I maintain that things now, especially for Tories, are no longer the old-fashioned politically correct. We used PC to mean that for ages, didn't we? PC, inoffensive, doesn't upset anybody, pleases everybody, all that kind of stuff. That's what we meant by politically correct. Well, that's what we're supposed to have meant by it. But I'll tell you what it means now to most of the people who constantly go on about not liking it. What it means is populist correct. There you go, a new form of PC. Rather than politically correct, we have populist correct. I think I may have mentioned that in a video before. It's the kind of correctness that when enough, quote, ordinary people are quoted in the mainstream media as saying, that's okay, when enough Katie Prices say it's all right to have immigrants drown, let's send out a gunboat, let's run over in the sea with this gunboat drowning children, when enough people say it, almost like getting enough votes on the X Factor, then because it's populist correct, it must be correct. So, the guy that shouts out the ageist insult, undoubtedly working with populist correctness. He was being populist correct. Daily Hail populist correct. But let's go a little bit deeper than that, shall we? Just a little bit deeper. It seems to me that in the world as these people want it, as they see it, as they demand for it to be, anybody who shows compassion, thoughtfulness, care, concern a desire for anybody other than themselves, a desire to promote social welfare, social, yes, and I'll say the word, social security, is somehow wrong. They are somehow weak. They are. And another phrase I see coming into use so much from those who use the populist correct expressions, just about what Donald Trump's lot are saying. Somebody who is a liberal snowflake. I am a liberal snowflake. I don't mind. I'm a liberal snowflake, but I won't melt. I'm a liberal snowflake because, believe it or not, hard as it must be to see in this society, I actually do care about other people. I am not just in my entire life for me and everything I can get out of it so that I can die with a pile of money underneath me thinking, oh, what a happy bunny I am. Yeah? That's not how human beings are meant to live. I don't think it's ever been how we're meant to live. We're social beings. Socialism is about the social. It's about helping each other, not hindering each other. It's about joining together for the good of all of us. It's about supporting the weak. It's about helping those in real need and not demonizing them. Everything that you try and do that is decent now, that tries to help others, is demonized as somehow weak, pathetic, weak-willed. It won't win any friends. It won't make any money. Of course, perhaps it won't. Because to the people that seem to make them money through exploiting the rest of us, to the multi-digit billionaire chief executives, what matters in their life is just how much money they can make. It doesn't matter to them how they have to screw over the workforce on 0 hours contracts, poverty pay, and just about anything they can do to screw more production out of them. It's a bit like being on a bloody galley, as I used to say at work, when you were a galley slave. When they want more production, they just come around and they whip the oarsman. Nobody whips the bloody captain. He sits up there in his saloon or his cabin or whatever, and he dines off of fine silverware and wears smart uniforms and has other little flunkies carry out his actions for him. But the poor sods in the galley get whipped when the captain wants to go faster. Yeah. Now, what's socialism about? Socialism is about those people in the galley bloody gathering together, presenting themselves to the captain and saying, "Oi, hang on a second, we ain't rowing anymore, all right? And I know you can threaten to kill us all and throw the bodies overboard, but then who's going to row your ship?" It's about time we realised that as a community we have to stand together. Would you genuinely let somebody die in the street? Would you do that? There are people out there who will. There are people out there who will actually consign my wife, possibly myself, to a work capability assessment, and then when we do die because of the mental or physical stress, they'll go, "Ha ha, that's one less that we have to pay out on benefits for, and that's more money for me." Honestly, for crying out loud, what did that Tory MP show? It showed how pathetic these people are. The fact that they have run out of policies. They have no arguments. They have no policies. All they can do is heckle and shout and demonise and hope to God that the people will be brainwashed into electing them again. I ask you, please, if you have any sense of compassion, if you have any feeling for social justice, if you have any feeling for your fellow human beings, do everything, pull out every stop, attend every function to get these Tories out. Oh, and I'll end, by the way, there is a Labour Party function on Saturday, that is tomorrow, in Galston, Great Yarmouth, where we'll have a stall, and you can come along and you can talk to us about getting the Tories out and voting for a system, for a Prime Minister, for a government of decent people, for the many, not the few. Rant over. Have a great day.